Hi, my name is Stephen Smith. I chose to do my analytical report on organics and essentially the interactions with society. Um, I was really concerned about organics. I have a mother-in-law who's actually just obsessed with organic everything. And I noticed that some people love organics and some people could care less about organics. So I was very curious of how to get to the bottom of that and how to discover the benefits or lack of or whatever it is that organics offer society. If you've ever seen an organic product in the grocery store, which I'm sure you have, you'll see just like a regular organic thing. But if you look closer, and it usually doesn't even take much to look closer, you'll always see organic is in big words, and there's usually that little USDA certified symbol on it. Anyhow, um, suppliers and producers and all these people go through great lengths to get that USDA certified organic sticker on their product. And that's to help the consumers know from what's an organic and what's just naturally grown. And if you ever read the back of a label, you'll see there's 150 ingredients in just any given product, it seems like. And so the government went in and stepped in to help consumers know which truly is organic and what's not. And if you go to places like California in the Northwest, you'll even see there's a California certified organic produce, and they go up and up, and there's a little more stringent and things like that. But for the nature of this research project, I was just curious to know about the actual true effects of organics, why people like them, why people don't like them. So to start off with, an organic product is essentially means it has no herbicides, no pesticides, no fertilizers, and it's not genetically modified in any way, shape, or form. This goes from how they grow it to how they package it to how they process. The whole line of how they handle food has to be organic in order for a product to actually get an organic symbol. If you can't think of when organics first came into society, that's probably a good thing because organics have been around forever. We never had to label our food organic. The pioneers and all these other people, everything they grew was organic. Everything they grew was natural. Some of the smarter ones would use, obviously closer to water, better resources, whatever the case might be. They let nature help them and guide them into growing bigger and better products. And most of the times they'd have to grow what the ground could actually yield them. Out here in Utah, there's plenty of stories from pioneers of what they could and couldn't grow. The soil out here is very salty and alkaline, and it's hard to grow products out here. We don't have the nice, soil like California or sort of a heartland house. Anyways, so I was curious about organics and the myth that they're either better for you or they're not better for you. That you'll hear things like that cure cancer. I mean, the stories go on and on and on. Just Google benefits of organic food, and you'll probably get as many results you could possibly imagine. For me, though, I was very curious to know if they actually were healthy. I'm a health conscious person. I have uncles that are diabetics, and I definitely don't want that fate for me. And so as I started to do this project, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to start following what I preach, and I'm gonna have to start buying organics. As I went through the research, I realized, and it's not me realizing, it's science is telling me, that food is food. The molecular structure of an organic tomato versus a conventional tomato is the same. There's no difference. They're not healthier, they're not more dangerous, they're not whatever. The content is the same. The chemical makeup of that tomato is the exact same. Now the difference is the skin or the leaves sometimes have added things like pesticides and herbicides and other things that aren't necessarily good. But as humans, we adapt. We're the apex predator. We could take in mercury. Most of us do every day. We can do small things in small increments that our body can naturally get rid of, and we survive. And for a lot of us, that's what we've been doing for the last 20, 30 years. We've been eating processed food that is literally no good for us, but yet our bodies are so amazing that we can still, process that food and use whatever little good health is in that food and still function throughout the day. As we start to see, and perhaps in the next 10 to 15 years, doctors and researchers will really start to validate the benefits of not necessarily organic food, but just healthy food in general. And that some of this processed food that we've been eating for 20, 30 years is just really starting to take a toll. I'm sure we all might know somebody who has diabetes or an obese family member that probably wouldn't be that way if it wasn't for the diet they had. Anyways, I was very curious what to do with this knowledge. So I found out that organic food is not necessarily better for you, but it's better for the environment. The environment loves organic food. When we throw fertilizers and pesticides and herbicides on the soil and water and even the air, this has drastic effects. If you've ever heard of the Dust Bowl, that was essentially would have been solved with organic farming. And organic farming is not just no pesticides, no herbicides, but it's all about treating the ground and using what the ground will yield you. The Great Dust Bowl was one giant monoculture. It was wheat everywhere, wheat as far as the eye could see. Well, the ground can only grow one crop for so long before that crop sucks every nutrient out of that soil. By rotating crops, though, you end up leaving nutrients in, leaving nitrates in, leaving all these things that the fertilizers are trying to put in. You can naturally leave them in the soil if you just till your ground the right way and take care of it the right way. Anyhow, I was really struck by what to do with this, and I wanted to literally get the public's opinion and find out as much information as I could from the public. So we made a survey. We put 5 questions, 5 general questions like about organics. Do you think they're healthier for you? Would you buy them if they're the same price? A real basic, nothing too scary type of survey. And the most overwhelming response to the survey, and probably the most pertinent question to this research, was, do you think organics are healthier for you? And 95% of our people surveyed said they thought that they were. So the question is now, what do you do with telling people that, by the way, they're not healthier for you? I know you buy this organic food every day. You might buy organic coconut oil, which, by the way, is naturally organic because there's no natural predator to a coconut. If you've ever seen a coconut tree, it'd be really hard to go spray a coconut way up high in a tree, and it has a very thick husk on it, so it's naturally protected from predators, bugs, you name it. No predators whatsoever. So every coconut you see is naturally organic, which is a different topic of how the marketing capitalize on such things like that. But anyways, so what we decided to do 2 things. A, we wanted to taste the products. We wanted to see if there was a difference between organic. Because for most people nowadays, in the economy nowadays, it's all about the economic value of food. Conventional food will always be cheaper than organic food. There's no way around that. The way our government cradles corn and the things that we do for stuff like that, conventional food will always be cheaper and will always be easier. And there's no way around that. However, we wanted to know if the quality of the food was better. And as we did 3 things, we did apples, strawberries, and cucumbers. And all 3 of our judges found the organics to be much better. The strawberries were far and away the biggest difference. We even asked some of them to just kind of rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And a lot of the strawberries were given 9s and 10s. And then the conventionals were given like 3s and 4s. Probably in large to the contrast of such. A lot of people thought the strawberries were just picked out of the backyard, when in reality we purchased them at Costco. So with Costco in mind, we were given the opportunity to do a roadshow there at Costco. And at Costco, we set up a table, and there we had all the organic products like coconut oil and other things that Costco had, and we had them just put on a table. And then we had 4 or 8 giant pallets of different products. And there, we allowed the members to be able to walk and see, and there I was standing to answer any questions, my BYU shirt and stuff. And also there was a poster. And on this poster was just simple facts about organic food. Nothing crazy. We had some recipes of different things with organics. We talked about some of the different products like organic beef and the benefits of that. There's these eggs, also the benefits of that. They're even using recycled packaging. The packaging is made of plant based on solar power and whatnot. But the most pertinent thing that I wanted to drive home, and some of the members did notice that there's no health benefits on here. Nowhere did I mention that organic eggs were more healthy for you than regular eggs. But what I did mention on here was how environmentally friendly they were. And some of the things I put on there were organic farmers could help control water pollution and even air pollution. Air pollution in Utah is a major thing. Some of the research indicated that the ammonia that reacts with some of the carbon monoxide and some of the emissions of our cars actually creates particulate matter 2.5, some of the deadly particulate matter in our air, especially in the wintertime. And not all of it, but some of it is definitely from the crops that we do here locally in Utah. Some of the other things we put on there is that no fertilizers and obviously no GMOs. Most people think of organic products probably just as, no pesticides, but it's no fertilizers. And people are really shocked by the fertilizers. But as we see, fertilizers are just as bad. They alter the soil, and ultimately that's what happened. So as we got to talk and interact with people, we discovered that a lot of people just really didn't care. The people who thought they were better for them health, more healthy, they wanted to keep that notion. And I stopped trying to convince them otherwise. And overall, the assumption that I gathered from this research was there's probably more to do with the demographic view. There's an older society out here, very conservative. And I think environmentalism and conservatism are just two things that, like oil and water. For whatever reason, environmentalism has been lumped in with liberalism and Democrats, and Republicans want nothing to do with it. And I think it's sad, and I think that'll change in the next 5 to 10 years. I think as we try to conserve and try and look towards the future, organics will be part of the future, and GMOs will be slowly replaced in our society, and overall to breed a healthier society. And not that organics are healthier for you, but they're definitely healthier for our society as a whole. This was a really fun research project. I learned a lot, and I hope I was able to educate you a little bit about the benefits of organics. Thank you.